Welcome back, everybody. So today we're going to be going over our tournament that we held this past weekend, and the day that you guys will be seeing this, the new set should be out. So all this gameplay that you will be seeing later on in the week will be from the last set. I apologize in advance, but I'm a little late on getting these out. But you know, it is what it is. Sure, some of you guys would love to see it, but yeah, let's get on into it. Give us a little meta analysis here. So to start off with, we had 12 people here and we had 4 rounds, and the format for this tournament was best of 3 2 deck. So reason for that is we personally think that best of 3 is the most competitive way that you can play really any card game. If we had some sideboarding, that'd be fun, but I'm interested and pleased with how they implemented the 2 deck for best of 3, and for anyone who does not know how that works, you pretty much bring 2 decks, your opponent brings 2 decks, and you both play out the first game with the decks of your choosing. The winner now is forced to move on to their second deck for the rest of the game, and they have to win with that second deck also to win the whole set. If you lose that first game, you can choose between your first and second deck, and then once that person wins with any one of those decks, they can pretty much only pick the last decks. So the deciding match usually comes down to the last decks that you pick majority of the time, if it goes to a game 3. But yeah, so we had 12 players. A good amount of players from our Discord. We had a whole bunch of new players come join us, all from different other clans, teams, which we will see later on. But yeah, I think it was a fun time. This one we were kind of just figuring out how to run this and see any of the problems and stuff that are happening. So yeah. So let's get on to the list. Our first place was Keno. He was a new person to our Discord, and congratulations, he pretty much showed out, and he took Runecraft and Swordcraft. Now, you'll see a running theme here. There's a lot of Swordcraft, but let's talk about the Runecraft. I think this deck did like super solid because a lot of the games that I got to spectate during the tail end of it, because I didn't get to spectate Keno for the whole duration of the tournament. But a lot of it, that the mention climb into the Cocytus and just win the game pretty much off of that, and just pretty much overwhelming with Kuan. It's a lot, and I really think this is one of the top decks, and right here in this tournament, we're looking to show you that these are the top decks, even in a format that once you win, you can't win with it. But it pretty much shows what the top 2 decks are when we have our first place winner. So this goes on to the second place list, and yeah, Swordcraft. I think this is a solid, maybe a little bit degenerate how it plays, but yeah, Albert being able to swing like twice, and Storm, very, very nice. I think Geno here being able to swing again twice, have barrier, is very, very nice, and borderline broken. But there's a lot of board clear. There's a lot of swings when you're playing against Swordcraft. Like, a lot of times you think like maybe you have an advantage, and then they just summon a whole board of knights, and then now you have to deal with knights, and then sometimes they summon a whole board of knights, and you have to deal with the knights with the barrier also. So pretty much you're dealing with double the knights and all like literally just all the pressure. It's oppressive at times if you are either don't have the cards in hand to deal with it, or playing a deck that does not have the means to deal with it. So again, congrats to Keno for taking it down first place. So next we're going to go to second place from the Ghosted team, and 300 was another new player in our Discord. So we love getting new people in here, and then they just show out on their first tournaments. But the decks that he took was Havencraft as his first one, and then for his second, for his second, he took Forestcraft. And yeah, we're just gonna start off with the second deck, go back to the first one. But yeah, Forestcraft with the killer Rhinoceros, it's just absurd the amount of play lines that you have with this deck, especially once you understand how the deck's played and understand what you can and can't do with the deck. So I think in the first couple weeks nobody really knew how to play it, but now that people got the hang of it and got a good build and understand the play lines, it's definitely top 3 on a tier list. So yeah, you know, not really much more to say. It's just a combo deck. You play things. As you play more things, you get effects from them because you've played so many cards in a turn, and those effects are usually pretty strong, like a, you know, a swinging for 10 killer Rhinoceros that can kill you, you know, from 20 to 0. And yeah, I believe in one of these videos you do see that. So take that as you will, and how you think the deck is good or not, but I think that is pretty good to kill somebody from 20 to 0. And back to his Havencraft. And I mean, Havencraft, one of my favorite decks, definitely for sure. I do think the avian statue, I feel like that one is a little bit underwhelming at times for how much it does cost. But I feel like the deck overall is just a little bit underwhelming, but he made it second place with this being his forerunner pretty much. And I mean, you have to win both of these, and you know, he consistently won with both of them. So Havencraft in a controlled environment, I believe, has a better time than just spamming on ladder. Because really the only deck here, which honestly I believe is why he got second place, is Runecraft. It kind of just deletes this deck. Like, you kind of just have no chance. And I can understand why second place was given to 300 here. So yeah, overall still a good deck. I think it's really good against Forest and Sword, so pretty good to call. And you know, I think that's why he got up here to second place. So again, congrats to 300 for taking it to second place, and congrats to the Ghosted team. We'll be looking at some more pro players and following them as we go on in the new series that we're coming out with. So yeah, and we're just going to talk briefly about the third place deck, and then we're going to run through the last place decks, just give you a brief look at them. But I primarily want to look at the top 3 decks for these events. Until we get some more players, then we'll go maybe top 5, top 8, etc., etc. So yeah, third place, we have good old Boltals, an OG. He's an OG of the community, and Boltals is a grinder and just an amazing player. So we're going to start off with his Havencraft, and it's, you know, essentially the same, but the 7 cost 5/7 here, being able to resummon another amulet to your board, which is most likely going to summon the Unholy Vessel. It's really nice because you just got this humongous ward, and then you have board clear, or you know, if you get unlucky, you still have some good amulets that you get, like the Dose of Holiness, being able to ping something for 4 and then heal 1, and then even if you get the Dark Haven's Grace, it's still a good card to just keep you in the game through the aggression that's in the format currently. He has the 2 Featherfalls. I think Featherfall is a very, very nice card. Being able to wipe the board for 3 and then be able to get a Storm Follower to finish anything else that did not, you know, get wiped is pretty good. Other than that, everything is pretty much standard. I do like his you know, his ratios here, having in the 1-ofs in here, and then, you know, 2 of the dose. I think, you know, this shows that this deck was well crafted, and from Boltals, I expect nothing less. So congrats to Boltals on that one. We're gonna move on to his Artifact Portal, and you know, this one, man, the only thing I don't really feel like sits with the deck too well is, Orcus a little bit. Um, I feel like if you're running a straight puppet Orcus build, 9 times out of 10 you'll be able to get just that little extra burst damage with playing out a free puppet, and allows you to just like make break points a little bit better. But I mean, it works in this deck, and I don't know. I have not played too much of Artifact Portal. I mean, I played so much against it, but I don't know how much value there is sinking in a Super Evo into an Orcus instead of maybe like your Romnia or your Masterwork artifact. So, but overall, you fuse, you're playing the puzzle game and controlling the board. Once you get down the Ancient Cannon here, being able to snipe for 2 every single time you fuse, just borderline. You're not gonna have a board after that. So, really good on definitely controlling. I think the early game is definitely where it lacks a little bit, not being able to control wide boards that go pretty early. But one-off cards that can do that. So 100% can see why this made it 3rd place. Just an overall solid deck. And yeah, again, congrats to Boltals for making it 3rd place and being one of our top finishers for the week. So, and we'll just run through some of the list. Next, pretty much everybody took Sword. We got another Artifact Portal. Next, from the Tuning Clan, shout out to Tuning Clan, Runecraft. I believe we had Aggro Swordcraft, Spellproof, Rune. We have 1 Aggro Dragon. We'll look at that deck list for anyone who wants to see it. Fortes, Marion, very, very nice. And I mean, I think this deck is pretty hit or miss. You get your cards early, you kind of just win. But if you don't, you are, pack it up, you're done. Pretty much. Especially against all the cards and decks that want to go past, like, turn 5 and win the game from there. Yeah, you have kind of no chance if you don't kill them by then. So, overall, I still think this is a good deck for certain situations, but for a close setting like a tournament like this, you're gonna be needing to run hot pretty wild most of the time. So yeah, there's the Dragoncraft, and shout out to Blue's Clue from Spellblade for that. And then we had a Puppet Portal craft. Sorry, I can't get the list for that because when you make your deck list and the code is really only for you. You can't really share it to nobody else unless you share it a different way. But yeah, the only deck that we really did not see, I believe every deck was pretty much in here. Maybe like a different variation of another deck, but actually no, Abyss, yeah, how could I forget? Literally no Abyss in this whole tournament. Goes to show the power level of it. I'm gonna leave it at that. But if you guys would like to join us in the next one, we do these every Friday at 10 p.m. EST. Come join us. Come get better. We're here to help you pretty much be a professional Shadowverse player. And through our tournaments and through our leagues, we'll help you get the reps and practice, and also gain some monetary value as we go on here. And you continue to play and get rewards for your hard work and effort, and then push you out to the Shadowverse Opens, all the other competitive stuff that side games and stuff has for us to play in. And we want you to go out there and win, and come back and say how you did it and how we helped you did it or do it. So without further ado, happy release day. Hope to see you guys in the tournament, and I look forward to talking to you guys in the next video. So this is Chris. Adios. I will see you in the next one.